Everyone,
Oh,
welcome.
welcome to this Kino Casino bonus content, folks. This is the story of how the Kino Casino came to be. More broadly, the story of how me and Andy came to be bros, partners in crime, and all that fucking shit. And it really didn't start with, Kino Casino as a project. It really started when we had the crossover last summer, but even a little bit before that,
Mhm.
when you had me on a couple episodes of Twisted Mind.
Well,
Um,
actually, if you want to go back even more, remember, okay, so I had my downfall. I make it back from America, and I did a show with Geek Thulu called, what was it called? Oh my God, I can't.
Warpath.
No, when I came back.
Oh, Volition Radio.
No. Oh my God, I've had so many shows. A reliable source.
Holy shit, okay.
Yeah, reliable source. And you were in the chat and you're like, fuck you, Andy. You never responded to my DMs. And I'm like, he's lying. He never DM'd me. He's full of shit. And then it was 6 months later, or like a year later, rather.
Yeah, so no, so that was so yeah, me and Godwinson had come over to Canada, and we wanted to get you to come hang out with us and drink at the bar. And so we DM'd you, but you never saw it. We were like, "Come on, Andy, like let's get you over and like let's party or whatever." But you didn't see it. That was fuck. That was yeah. That was in like fuck. That was what was that? I guess that
2 years
must have been in
ago?
20. Yeah, 2 years ago, some shit like that. So that was the first time we kind of opened the door. Because remember back in the day how I started? Well, I started fucking shitting on Sargon. Then it was shitting on you and Ralph for over the Miami trip and all that fucking shit. Um, where I kind of started to turn the corner with you, where I was gonna collaborate with you, was when you had kind of the falling out with Dick Masterson about the cuties stuff and his weird like pedophile defenses. And I think that for you was just too much to bear. You were like, fuck this. Like, I can't be associated with that. So I saw from that you weren't like just a total mindless, like, gunt guard. You know what I mean? That you
Yeah,
actually
dude,
would.
that was so weird. Like, I get it. I get the idea of like free speech and shit and all that, right? But when you start being like, oh, this pedophile movie is free speech, like, no, it's not. Like, this is like, it's obviously like disgusting. It's unanimous with everyone, like 99% of people, and that other 1% are, sus, obviously. And I'm like, why is he like dying on this hill? Right. And then,
No, no,
yeah.
nobody could understand.
No,
Like, what the
I
fuck?
still can't. You remember like last, or it was like 2 weeks ago or something? You were like, yo, fucking Dick Masterson is still talking about cuties. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I like a tweet where he put the poster of the movie. And I'm like, still? It's been like a year
Yeah.
and a half. Like, dude, what are you doing?
2022, he's still talking because he can't take the L on it. He has to keep defending it to the ends of the earth. And, it's because all the people associated around him are weird, fucking creepy pedophiles like Digibro, the transsexual lolicon enthusiast. This is the
Veto?
sort of Pedo Vito. Oh, Vito just outright said he was a pedophile on Twitter. Like, not even but a month ago. I don't think it was that long ago. And, and Dick still brings these fucking people on.
Look,
So,
like I've made pedophile jokes before. I think we all have. Like everyone's made like that type of joke before. But like when your joke is, oh, I don't even want to say it to not be clipped out in this. Like
yeah.
the kids, like over and over and over. It's like there's no setup and punchline. You're just saying that you f children. That's
Oh, but what I've said about it for a while, and I mean, this is, getting to be a bit of a stale take, but I think it's still a correct take, is all this stuff with Mr. Girl and Vito. these guys are pedophiles, and probably Dick is as well. And the reason they do this stuff and they constantly talk about it is to normalize it,
Mm,
that people get used to it. It's a very subversive thing that they do. And it's the way that, you know, these I don't know, these culture warriors have always pushed their agenda. And it's just disgusting to see it be applied to pedophilia, the same tactics that have been used for other causes in the past. And this is what they're doing, and it's fucking gross and it's wrong. And it
yeah.
was something where even you're not like the most politically aware guy, but even you were like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember because that was the, I would say, the sort of transitional period on how you were reacting to me, because you still made fun of me, but your reaction to that debate, you're like, how is Worski destroying this guy? Like, what the fuck is he like? You know, like Tardsky,
uh,
whatever. Like, you're still making the jokes about me, but that's when you were
well,
like,
then that
Worski's
was the
winning.
based. Well, no, the based moment was when you fucking brought up how he got Jesse kicked off of
Oh,
Patreon.
how the
And then
classic
Dick
picture.
just exploded. Dick exploded with rage. You fucking cokehead! How fucking dare you bring this shit up? Da, 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 da.
And I
He
remember
was
that
so
line, dude.
fucking pissed.
Remember that
You
line where
stuttering.
I'm like, actually, I don't do coke anymore. He goes, yes, you fucking do. And that's the
And that's the
picture,
same.
and that's the
He
photo,
did the
right? That
same
you've seen.
face. So what happens is whenever Dick gets angry and like he gets triggered, he goes beet red, and like he starts like fucking sucking the microphone like it's a cock. He did the same thing to me when I came on about New Project 2 when he was on the Ricada show. He made the same face at you and you brought up the pod awful shit. And it's when he knows he's like called out on his bullshit. I'm the fucking prom king, you fucking cokehead. You know, like, okay, there, Dick. Bringing up your high school accomplishments as a 40-year-old man there. Tell us more about
He said,
cuties and
wait, he
lollies.
said that? I can't even remember. He said that?
Oh, that was his whole thing. Was he's like, you'll never get pussy. You know, in high school, I was the prom king. I was cool.
I have
I, you
fucked
know.
I have
Then I
fucked a
learned later.
lot of women, so that's not true either. It's not
Oh, this
true.
is this is what he was saying to me, right? Because he thought it would cut me
Oh, to
deep.
you? Oh, to you. Okay, okay, okay.
But then later I learned that he actually wasn't the prom king in high school. That
No.
this is all lies. He was actually the vice president of the AV club, like the audio video club. He was like in the drama club. He was like a nerd or whatever in the club. So it's just bullshit. Like if you watch videos, there's like videos of him doing his like gay high school video show or whatever, where he like pretends he's Jim Carrey. He's very clearly ripping off Jim Carrey because like Dumb and Dumber came out that year, and, like Ace Ventura and The Mask, and it's so cringe. It's so cringe.
Ugh.
That's who he was in high school. So he like projects it onto me, like he thinks like, you know what'll hurt him if I say I was really cool in high school because I wasn't cool in
Oh.
high school and I'm angry about it. You know, that's Dick Masterson. His whole life is just a fraud.
Have you ever heard of
I
Moo
don't
Moo the cow?
Juju
Juju the
and
cow.
Juju.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Juju the cow. Freaking that, like that was actually the time. So after I debated with him, so I had just heard about this Jesse stuff, and Jesse, that was the first time he had ever reached out to me, right? And he was like, "Yo, Andy, if
yeah.
you really want to take out like Dick on this, like," and he's always talking about free speech. Ask him about the time that that he got me banned off of Patreon. And I had watched only a few videos. So that's why when you see me on that debate go, okay, I didn't look too deep into it. Maybe I'm wrong. I said that because I was like, all right, maybe like he's like a pot awful's bullshitting me. You know, he's a troll. So maybe I'm wrong. And then a few weeks later, Kyler and I, we were doing Twisted Mind at the time, like did a deep dive on the show. And I went, oh, this is all 100% true. Like, I'm like, oh my God, he did get this guy banned off of Patreon for, I guess, saying the N word or something about his, like, friend or some shit like that. That's what it was about. So, this whole, like, free speech shit, man, like, no one's fully on board with free speech. You know what I mean? Like if you really
Oh,
think about it.
everybody has a limit somewhere, right? Whether it be child pornography, whether it be a lot of people with racist remarks, they think that that's not true free speech. Everybody has a limit. A lot of the time, people's limit for free speech is when they get made fun of. They're all for getting to make fun of other people and shitting on everybody else. That's their freedom. That's my right as an American or whatever the fuck. Then the moment they start to get shit on, then they start to flag or they start to report you to Patreon, and that's what Dick did to Jesse.
Hmm.
And that's what Dick does to a lot of fucking people because Dick's a fucking scumbag and a low life. And I'll never back off of that.
No, me
And
either. Yeah.
the truth is, the guy is supposedly a professional comedian. A professional comedian and a lawyer got embarrassed by a fat Canadian 12 beers deep, and he's never really recovered from that. He never will. Because he's a fucking joke and a fraud. That's just the facts of Dick Masterson. And the reality is he has to surround himself with losers like Vito and Ralph and Jabro so that he feels like the coolest person in the room. He
Eh,
doesn't surround himself with winners that
no,
might
not at all.
overshadow him because he's afraid, and this is my belief, he's afraid that what happened to Maddox, where Dick outshined him and took his spot, will happen to him. That's
Mm.
why he would never do a show like Biggest Problem with Me, because he knows he would very quickly get turned into Maddox. He would get turned into a laughing stock and become a big joke. So he surrounds himself with weird, creepy pedophiles, charisma vacuums, and white trash like Ralph
Well, and
and Riley.
if you think about it, before the cuties debate, how I got my foot in the door for Killstream was, if you remember, was the roast of Dick Masterson, the Killstream. What
Yeah,
was it called? Killstream Hall of
the
Fame.
Call of Fame. Yeah,
Yeah, and I like it was my first time back in a long time, right? I think at that time I was just speed running like Resident Evil 3 on D Live to like 5 people. So I hop on there and I murdered like I was the funniest, I would say, out of anyone. I actually wrote the jokes as if I was heading to an actual roast. And in fact, I worked so hard on it that like when I realized no one else had real jokes, and if they did, it was very like minimal. I was like, whoa, I like outshined them. And then Dick, because he bombed so poorly, and he never even talks about this anymore, this stream. He did it so bad, and his excuse was, oh, I was on acid.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
were
yeah.
ya?
You
Were
remember?
ya?
No, no. He's just not very talented. See, the thing is, right? When you're not a very talented comedian, you go into what's called improv, which is what Dick did at UCB or whatever the fuck it was called. And
Oh,
even there, he was the least talented person at UCB. He was considered a fucking joke, and then he got kicked out for dropping the N bomb. That's what happened to Dick.
he was? Wait, was it the
Yes,
piano thing? The piano?
yeah, the piano thing, right?
Oh.
It took away the crowning achievement of his life, the Pizza Hut commercial.
Oh
He's
yeah.
never He's never in another Pizza Hut commercial again,
That's what
man.
Jesse did. So when Jesse
Yeah.
had his Patreon like removed, he went, "Oh yeah," and then he sent Pizza Hut the music video. If people listening don't know, there's a video out there of Dick Masterson with short hair, actually wearing a suit on the piano, and he's a like a decent piano player, and he's singing a song about Mel Gibson, and one of his lines was "raped by a pack of," but he says it clear as day, right? Of
Yeah.
ends, and then fucking Jesse was like, "Yo, you got my Patreon removed. Fuck you. Hey, Pizza Hut, did you see this?" And then he lost it all. So Dick Masterson, in his mind, is like, "Oh, Jesse got me banned off of like mainstream work, basically, because he didn't want to do this podcast thing. Like that wasn't his goal in life. His goal was to, be an actor. He was trying his best for this." and it just didn't work out because
Oh, I mean,
raped by a pack.
he was a spoiled LA rich kid that wanted to be a fucking comedian, and his dad entertained his fucking delusions and paid the bill for all of his bullshit. And he never made it because he never had the talent to make it, and he never will make it. He'll
No,
always just be some podcast bum, and his podcast is less and less popular each year. People care less and less because end of the day, all he has is Maddox Lost. That's his whole fucking material and stop. And every week, it's crap. I don't know how anybody listens to it.
it's fucked.
And
Well,
yeah,
Vito being the co-host, so I know a few people in the a Dick Masterson Facebook a group or whatever. So these people tell me they all, first of all, they all hate Ralph. I'll talk about that when we're like on that section. But about
yeah,
Vito, they hate Vito. Every comment about Vito or anytime someone makes fun of Vito, like Kyler, for example, he'll go like, "Oh fuck Vito," and he'll get like a hot like 15 within like a
yeah.
second, like 15 likes, and then like 100 over like the span of like a month that it's been out there. He'll put like memes of Vito. No one likes Vito. In fact, do you remember? I think it was like last year's Road Rage. So he does like a yearly like show or whatever on stage, and he hangs out with like these losers, and he brings up Ralph, for example, right? The audience audibly boos Ralph.
Yeah.
It's like
They don't want
they hate
they
Vito,
don't
they
want
hate
to hear
Ralph.
this shit.
They hate all
That's
these
what I'm
guys.
saying. That's what I'm saying. He brings them on because they're no threat to him. I'll never be a threat to overtake his popularity. It's just a fucked up mentality. I always want to be around the most creative people I can. Like, I want to be around winners. I want to be around the alphas or whatever. Dick wants to surround himself with beta male yes men and fucked up degenerates and, pedophiles so that at any moment, he can always, like, shit all over them, make them look like a joke so that he can build himself up and there's no threat of them overtaking him. That's because he's an insecure middle-aged man who never amounted to much, so he has to lord over what little he can lord over, which is like pedophiles and fat alcoholic revenge pornographers,
I don't get it
and that's where
though.
his life is at.
Like, and you made an amazing point there. So for me, for example, right? So Kyler and I, we ended our show because it was running its course. We were bored of it, and we had an ending that was really funny, and it was great. Like it was a great, year and a half. Still friends with him, hang out with him almost every day, and we work on subcultured YouTube videos. Cool, awesome, right? And then I'm like, okay, all right, for my next project, it has to be good. If I do a live stream, so when you had reached out, and we'll get to that obviously later, but when you had reached out, in my mind, I'm like, Ashton's funny. I love his videos. People like him. I know we'll do an awesome show. I mean, it was better than I expected, to be honest. Like I knew it would be funny, but like our production value and everything, you want to align. I want it to align with people where it's not like Andy was the funniest. I want it to be like, holy shit, uh, this collaboration's crazy, and that's why like Ralph's failing right now because anyone who got popular on his show as his co-host, he would have to snuff us out. He started streaming over my streams. He doesn't tweet out anyone else's streams like Gator's like anime boomer podcast. He doesn't promote it. He doesn't promote Bibble. He doesn't promote anyone. It's all because it's the same like mentality as Dick. I need to be like the top. I'm the top, the alpha. So what does he
Yeah.
have to do? Hang out with either like pedophiles or fucking losers, or have no friends at all. Like in Ralph's case, I don't understand this mentality because the way we all get, make money or views or whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Is by being around people where you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. And that's why our
No, it's the thing. It's like mentality that we had in sales was, if you're training a guy underneath you to become a sales guy, you're not upset when he becomes big. because it's a sign of how incredible you are that you were able to help foster a talent like that. And that guy will remember that, and he'll refer other people to you, and he'll help you along in your career when he becomes very successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in this business. If you have somebody that you help to become huge and they blow up later on, if you kept a good relationship with them, they're going to give you a shout out. They're going to bring you on shows that will increase what you do. You know, but Ralph doesn't view business that way. Dick doesn't view business that way. They want to stunt and keep people underneath them, which is always the fucked up mentality to have in any business, really. But that's just how they roll, and they're scumbags. But I wanted to move on a little bit there. So we went from that period where you started to speak out against Dick. I thought you're cool. Then it brought me on to a couple different episodes of Twisted
Oh
Mind
yeah,
where
yeah.
I think I debated Winston on one of the shows. I talked to like Black Pigeon Speaks on one of the shows. So I started appearing on Twisted Mind a bit. And I think that this kind of was starting to piss Ralph off.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
He's like, "How can you give this guy a platform, Andy?" So already the wedge was starting to kind of form between you guys. And I knew that you were kind of, looking to do some other shit, branch out, and I had heard that I saw that you were playing like a lot of my videos on the show.
Yeah.
Like you were reacting to my stuff, so I thought, okay, Andy likes my stuff. I thought and this is really what my thought process was. I want to see if I can get Andy over to the apartment with me and Surfer so we can do some like crossover shit. And my main motivation really was to piss Ralph off and to drive a wedge between you and Ralph. I'll just be honest. you know? But I also thought we could make some really good content together. So it was a period of over like 6 months. I was trying to get you in February and March to come, and all the COVID shit happened.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like,
Oh,
oh,
and during that period, there was one stream where you popped on and talked to Ralph, and then
that's right.
he threatened to murder you on my stream, and this has been spread around by many people, right? Like, I think the first time actually you talked to him, it was cool. He was like in like Tennessee or
Yeah.
something,
So
right?
no,
You remember
no. So
that?
because remember, it was originally the plan was we were gonna have me and Ralph and you, Godwinson, Dick Masterson, Ader, and Surfer on a fucking
Oh
RV
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do like an IP2 trip. We were trying to smooth things over with Ralph. We didn't want to give a public appearance that the feud was over because the interest would die down in terms of the RV. But behind the scenes, it was like, okay, like let's do business together. Let's make some money. But Ralph couldn't bring himself to fucking work with me. Oh, fuck that motherfucker. I hope he
No,
dies.
at first he
So,
said yes because I convinced him. I went, Ralph, like, think about how many donations will come in during the RV. It will spark up some life in this sphere because let's be honest, at that point, all the interest and everything was just dying. Like right now, it's back the way it was back in the day. But at that point, it was like it was just there was no energy there. Like the IBS, like quote unquote, that Ralph is doing isn't anywhere near where Worski Live was or whatever. So it was like, Ralph, we have to do this because this is like interesting, you know? It's like WWE bullshit, you know? Stone Cold has to hang out with fucking The Rock in an RV, like type idea. That was how I pitched it. I'm like, you like wrestling, right? This is what wrestling is. This is like a show. And he's like, yeah, yeah. But while I was willing to sort of like we still weren't 100% cool, but I'm like, the idea is there and I think it'll be funny. It was like the real world or something. But Ralph, he just could. At first, he was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then what happened? Like, what happened right after that? Because I can't remember the exact reason. Maybe you did a few videos on the whole Faith Vickers thing, right? Is that what it was?
I think it was probably something about Faith Vickers or whatever. It was at that time I was actually shitting on Faith and like I was like attacking T clips and we were kind of bonding over that. I think I fucking shit on him, I guess, in another video or whatever, and I think it caused him to be pissed off,
Hmm.
and the whole thing just fell apart. It never really got out of the initial um, stumbling blocks, but the idea was basically Godwinson would have been kind of like the Casey of the RV. He was gonna buy this RV. We were gonna fucking go out on it. But the thing is, the RV, if it even had happened, probably would have been a disaster because me and Ralph would have ended up killing each other. I think
Yeah, yeah.
on like day one or day two, we all would have ended up going to jail. As soon as like the drinking started, it would have got fucked.
In
So it's
hindsight,
pro-
it's good that it didn't happen.
yeah, it's good that it didn't happen because it would have been a total clusterfuck. Like Surfer would have attacked Gator or something. We all we all would have ended up going to fucking jail, man. So, but yeah, that was the whole plan. There
And
was never
then it
really,
was the
yeah,
the a murder threat. So he threatens to slit your throat on my show, and then I'm like trying to calm everything down, and then I got shit for it. I got in trouble for that because remember there was like a clip. I think Sunrise Productions posted this, but it was him like after. I hadn't seen this for a while, but he's like, "Yeah, I did that, but I know how to how to maneuver online. I know how to do things without being banned." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I almost got banned." They're like, you hosted this on your show and blah blah blah." And my response was, "Okay, sorry about that. That won't happen again. I apologize." However, the guy who did that is Ethan Ralph. The guy
yeah.
that's your number one on your whole website. Yeah? That guy? Why don't you email him? Apparently, he did get an email about that. I found out later. But he's trying to go like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know how to maneuver online." No, you don't. You threatened to murder someone on my show. Like, that's fucking retarded. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, 100%. So that all fucking happened, but it was like we're trying to get around summertime. I tried to get you in, and we eventually did. We went up, fucking got you for Canada Day. I didn't know how it was gonna go.
Me either.
Um, I had a bunch of ideas. Like me and Surfer sat down and brainstormed. Mostly me. Let's be honest. But we sat we sat down and brainstormed a whole bunch of different ideas. And a lot of the ideas I said, "There's no way he'll go for this," but I'm gonna pitch it. And what ended up happening, we brought you down. We clicked right away. There was chemistry right away.
Hmm.
We were having a really good time talking about all sorts of shit online and sat down that night. We were drinking. Every idea I pitched you, you were like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
And you actually came up with shit that I didn't like. You're like, "You know what? This was the idea." So how the first show was like was gonna start with like a bag over Andy's head, and I was gonna put a knife to his throat. That actually you came up
Yeah,
with.
that was me.
Um, you came up with. I'm like, "Are you sure you wanted this?" It's like, "Yeah, yeah, man. Like this is so." Because I was like, "How much is Andy gonna want to like give us like a kind of like a win or whatever?" But you gave us so much, it was crazy. Oh, you agreed to do like the George Floyd bit with like the knee on your neck. I couldn't believe you agreed to this shit. I'm like, this is fucking gold. But you were like, people are gonna like this shit. And it was like a redemption arc or whatever.
Also,
And
it's playing to your audience, right? I'm at
yeah,
your house, quite literally and figuratively, with being on your channel. So it's like, yeah, if I'm being like a pussy, right, and going, "No, I don't want to talk," no, no, your audience would turn on me. So I'm like, okay, he has like 700 people who watch his streams. I don't want to be the guy who's like, "Oh, yeah." No, I want to entertain them. I want to show like because that's how I am. Like I play to an
oh yeah,
audience. That's what you did. Like you as well. You know how to play to an audience. Oh my, on this guy's show, this is how his audience will react. It's not about being fake. It's about how do I entertain these people? Because
100%,
yeah,
and
a lot of
that's the
people
thing
don't
that
do
you've
that.
always had is a great sense of showmanship. And it was also like was great was, when we were doing the shows like about Nick, I had to like get up and take a piss. You anchored the show. Like you were able to fucking sit there, interact with the chat, hold the fucking thing down. A lot of people aren't able to do that. They wouldn't know what the fuck to do, but you know how to improv and interact with the audience and play to the crowd. It was a crazy fucking like 3-4 days that
It
we
was
had there.
amazing. It was amazing. Like, dude, like the content was just gold. Like from
Yeah.
every stream about Nick or whatever, and all that stuff was happening with the road dog, the Nick on the road,
The road
the
dog,
road
White
dog.
Boy Summer.
Oh
We
yeah,
had
what?
the we
Oh,
had the stream Geek Thulu comes out of his fucking hole, his hidey hole. We put him back in his fucking hidey hole. He was like leaving the internet. He gave his like leaving the internet announcement. We did a video on that.
oh, he
We did it this
apologized on
yeah.
in the chat, and then like 2 months later, he's back on Kiwi Farms talking shit, but no one's responding. It's just like, I thought you left the internet, bro, and you're now on Kiwi Farms. Like, dude, what the fuck? Because I'm willing to
Honestly,
burn the
yeah.
hatchet. Like, I don't care anymore, right? So,
Oh,
yeah.
nobody wants to be fighting with Geek Thulu, right? Like it's just a waste of time. But for him, it'll never end. He's just still bitter as fuck. But that whole time where we were doing those shows with Surfer and like the cooking with Surfer snickerdoodle swastikas we did,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
I was
shit, I
blasted. Holy.
we were totally
All
blacked
of
out,
us.
totally wasted. But I think that was the absolute peak of like the Trailer Park Boys type era of the channel. And from that point on, I kind of knew with Surfer we were never gonna top that. We were never gonna top having Andy in the kitchen doing that shit, like baking snickerdoodle swastikas. There's only so much you can do with a character like Surfer, where it's this outrageous shock humor, racist, like drinking, doing drugs. Like in my opinion, it peaked at that point. And I kind of knew from that point on, creatively, it would never hit that point
Yeah, it
again.
was a new era,
Um,
right? Like you, it was almost like that. All right, this is the end of that chapter. Sort of like
and I
how
even
Twisted
said
Mind
that to
ended. You
you.
know? Yeah.
I kind of even said to you when we were sitting there drinking, I think Surfer was passing. This is kind of, the end of an era. Like it's never gonna quite like this again. And me and him went on for another couple months, but that was really, I kind of knew it's like we've gotten everything out of this we possibly can. And
Well, also
I
you were
also think,
fighting, like you were fighting with him because
yeah,
I had messages from you and him being like, "Oh, we're in this fight and this and that," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." There seems to be like something happening, right? Which then it
I
all
think it
culminated
was,
till the big fight. The don't be
yeah,
a hero, buddy. Don't be a
the
hero.
don't be a hero thing. And I think part of what ended up happening there was, and Surfer saw that you were in his kitchen and we were getting 700-800 live viewers sometimes. I think it really went to his head. I really think he started to believe that he was a big star, that he was a big deal, and that it was his show. And the reality was, it was never his show. He was a part of the show, an important part of the show.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was my show, and he was a supporting character in it. And the clash kind of became that he thought that, he ran the show, he was the reason people tuned in. As we've seen, numbers don't lie. It's not really the case. That's all I'll say. But, um,
Oh, there's one thing too that I'll mention. So you interviewed me. It was like the Stay Back
yeah,
Aim documentary, 4 or 5 parts, and I'm getting progressively more drunk throughout the entire interview. And I remember that's where you were like actually starting to grill me on my
yeah.
past or whatever. And it was like, all right, this is my final hurrah of explaining everything. I'm not gonna re-explain my past like to everyone. I made it very clear. Like Ralph's trying to bring up some stuff. I don't even respond to it. the point and going, yeah, all right,
There's
Piggy. There's
there's no point
no point.
because I didn't softball you in that interview.
No,
Like
no.
I got you drunk so that you would like be very open with it, and I intentionally like stayed sober. Now, it wasn't that I really wanted to do that, but that day I was fucking pretty sick. Like I was puking that morning. I'm like, I can't drink today. And I wanted to stay sharp because I wanted to try and catch you in lies. I wanted to make sure that, we got the full truth out. And I think for the most part we really did. And I think that you got exonerated on a lot of shit
Yeah,
from the past that otherwise people might still think that you did a lot of wrong shit. There's some shit that I think you'd even admit, was wrong
yeah, of
that you
course.
did.
Yeah,
But we got it all out there, and there was a lot of cool shit, that you were bringing up about Arc Fist and about old Warski live days that people got to see, and I wanted people to know. I wanted to remind people of what you did in your career online, because at that time, the Kiwi Farms put you in the Gunt sub forum as
ugh.
though your whole career was dedicated to Ethan Ralph, that you were nothing without him. And the truth was, you were way bigger than he ever was or ever will be
And I
during
was
the Warski live days.
and I was being held down. I was being held back from what my potential would have been. But at that point, I told you this, and this is why I didn't want to like snake on Ralph or anything, was because it's like, you know, when everyone hated me, he was the a kill stream was my first like thing back basically in front of like an audience basically, and I got all that exposure and stuff. But then when I started to like do actual shows that were like bigger than Killstream, that's when I was like banned off of D Live. The whole January 6th thing happened and everything fucking fell apart. And then Ralph basically stopped like promoting me and all that stuff. So I was already bitter at that point. During the interview, I remember being like, I want to say more, but I don't, like, right now is not the time to say anything. I tried my best to be like, maybe Ralph will change, maybe he will stop drinking or being evil towards people. And then it was after that point at your place was when he started burning the bridge with like everyone. Like first it was like Nick, uh, Adorio, Augie, Tipster, Bo Black. So that whole crew burning the bridge there. Then with like bringing up Kiwi Farms and Josh Moon all the time. And then it went into more like of the closer circles, like Nick Ricada and all this stuff. So I remember I still wanted to be, I was still like annoyed with what Ralph was doing, but I didn't think it was that time to do it yet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, I understood. I mean, I tried my hardest to get you. I mean, I got you blackout drunk. I mean, the closest we got you were singing Country Roads. You thought it was Country Roads, but it was actually like Ethan Ralph parody Country Roads. It was so funny. You were just
Oh my
blacked out
god.
singing it. But like every other thing, like we couldn't get you. Like you would just like, no, no, I'm not gonna say anything. Like I love Ethan Ralph. Like you kept saying it over. I love you, Ralph, and I'm like, fuck this guy. He won't turn on him. And or I kept asking you, like in the interview, like really pointed questions about Ralph, and you just would like stonewall it every fucking time. You stayed loyal to him the whole time, and he still like shit all over you for
Yeah.
that, and was super fucking pissed. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, at the end of the day, you're not Andy's master. Like, you don't get to tell him what he can and can't do. He was loyal to you the whole time, and you
That's why
wanted
I
to.
was really pissed. It was like, so when I went to your place, so my thought process was this. Look, I like Ashton's videos. I want to do it. And I was still like worried about the whole Ralph, like, because he's insane. As you can see what happened over the last few weeks. He is mentally unstable. So, but that was the first like turning point where I was like, look, it's either I go there and he accepts it or he backstabs me. Either or. But you know what? I'm going to do it. You know? I'm not gonna be controlled by someone. Like exact same thing happened with Mersh. So I like Jesse and Pod Awful. I like him more than Mersh. And Mersh was like saying like, if you hang out with Jesse, you're a piece of shit. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't care. Like you either accept me doing this, or stop being my friend and then backstab me and then talk shit about me. I don't care. So that whole heading to your house thing is ripping off the band-aid of like being afraid of Ralph. You know? Like, no, I don't care. Hate me if you will. And if you do,
And,
fine.
and yeah, and I knew right well that he wasn't going to accept it. So this is kind of what my planning was, is with each of Ralph's allies, every time I got one of them to platform me or to interact with me in a positive way, it burned Ralph's ass. So like when I had Medicare on and I debated Medicare about New Project 2 and stuff, Medicare said that I was funnier than Dick Masterson, and he said I won that exchange. And I got him to make little jabs at Ralph and at them, and they actually were reacting to it live. And it's actually a really funny stream to watch their live reaction to that. Ever since then, I think Ralph's ass was burned about Jim,
Yeah.
and he was angry. Same thing with Nick Rekieta. I went on Rekieta's show, even though Rekieta was sweeping it up and being loyal to Ralph. The fact that he even had me on pissed Ralph off. And the same thing, like Jim was like covering for Ralph's flagging and stuff like that during that stream. But that wasn't good enough for Ralph. He was still pissed off, seethed about that, pissed off, seethed about Rekieta. And you also were covering for Ralph, defending Ralph, trying to be loyal to Ralph. It wasn't good enough. And I just know how Ralph's mind works. And I knew that if I could just get on these shows with these people, that he would eventually burn the bridges down, and that then I could bring those people in, and then I could boost myself up. And that's exactly what's happened.
Well,
And
well, well
it's
also,
worked out
dude,
beautifully.
it's not just because it was your plan as well. We wouldn't have you on, or I wouldn't head to your house if you weren't entertaining. Like everyone sees your value. You know what I mean? Because you were always seen as like the troll, angry dude, right? But then
Yeah.
you were like off the wall at a certain point for like 1 year. Like your videos were like crazy angry, and then you went into a more comedic angle with everything, right? And that's when you started appearing on everyone's shows. So it's not like, oh, I want to piss off Ralph, therefore I'm gonna hang out with Ashton. No, it was Ashton is funny, so therefore I'll hang out with him. And the consequence might be Ralph will be angry, but I mean, when you put your talent beside Ralph's talent, it's not comparable at all. You could do a show sitting there for 5 hours and I'll watch it because you're funny and reacting to something. And I have, like your baked Alaska stuff was really funny and blah blah blah, all that stuff. But it's like Ralph needs his co-hosts. He needs the guests. He needs the IBS, right? I think a big a thing with us too that we talked about was we don't want our new show to be reliant on guests, phone calls, or anything. We want it to be like you watch the show for us, not like, oh, who's on the show today? Like, I'd rather there be no guests and it's just me and you, though we do have some planned stuff, right, with people. But like, that's the thing is, we weren't trying to burn Ralph. It was, fuck Ralph, he's not my daddy. Suck my balls. I'm gonna do whatever I
Oh,
want. You
that was
know?
the thing, because so we'll just fast forward a bit. So it comes time around December of 2021. I gave you a call probably first week of December, and I said, maybe it was even like November, and I said, Andy, I'm thinking, we should do some show together, maybe about movies or TV show, something not
Yeah.
political or whatever, because you were still doing Twisted Mind at the time. I was like, we should do some sort of show together because I like to do a show about media. I'm not doing anything like that right now. And you were like, well, I'm still busy with all this shit, but let's think about a concept. Let's come up with something. So I let it go for a while. I probably didn't call you for another month after that.
Yeah.
Um, then when I heard, you were wrapping up Twisted Mind, I called you again and I said, Andy, you're wrapping up Twisted Mind. Why don't we reboot it with me and you?
Yeah.
And let's do our own fucking show, our own concept of it. But I said to you, the problem that we've been having with Stream, Twisted Mind, all these shows is do 5 shows a week, 3, 4, 5 hours. Too much. There's not
It's
enough
way too much. Yeah, and it's the same content over and over. Oh, the SJWs. Oh, the woke stuff. Oh, like your crime, if you know what I'm talking about. Like it was always the same fucking thing. Oh, what's Biden say? You know, it's the same thing over and over. And also, I pitched to you. You said that, and then my pitch to you the back was, if we're gonna do this, it has to have high production.
Yeah.
That was my like, we need to do this. If we're gonna do it once a week, it has to be better than any live show has been in production value. Cause there's no point. I'm like, there's no point if we're gonna just be me and you talking in a fucking on a live stream, right? And you know, like it's been done before. And then that was the whole idea of the new era of streaming, right? Like that was the whole idea, the new era. Like, what is the new era? So yeah, we didn't talk for a month. Then you phoned me back. I think my parents were on vacation or something, right? They were in Portugal, and I was like having a few beers, and that call when you phoned me when like that happened, that was my like I was like, yes, I'm down. Because I was like worried the whole time, you know? I was like, oh, what will Ralph think? What will Ralph think? But then he was, I remember that week, he was like, he took shots at all of us, like all the co hosts. I'm better than
Yeah.
anyone in this sector, from the top all the way down. And that means everyone. And then you phoned me a few days later, and I went, yup, that's it, man. That's all I needed was to hear that. Like, was that like, yeah,
Oh, well, what it was when he was saying, like, these people are all hanging off of my nuts. He was talking about flamenco, but it was, like, clearly also directed at you.
mm-hmm.
That you were, like, hanging off his nuts and that you'd be nothing without him. And that's what, like, at that moment, I think all the co hosts kind of knew. They're like, this is what he thinks of me.
Yeah,
He thinks I'm worthless as fuck, that I hang off of his nuts. And as we've seen, every co-host is left. There's nobody fucking left. It took literally like 6 weeks from that statement, there being no one left. It's just retarded of Ralph.
I,
Even at that point, you talk to me and you're like, "Look, I really don't want to do a show on Ralph."
yeah, I did say that.
PPP. You said to me, you're like, you can do your own show on Ralph. I know you fucking hate Ralph or whatever. But I don't want to do it. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Like, we have a lot of material to do, like Fuentes or Dick Masterson or whoever the fuck Mersh
Mersh, yeah, yeah,
or whichever character it was gonna be. So I started working on the first episode was gonna be about Nick Fuentes and
yep.
doing a deep dive on him. And
You came to
we
me
did.
with 3 names for shows. You had Kino Casino was the first one, and I remember
Yeah.
interrupting you and going, "I like that." Then it was the Kino Drome or the retarded Phoenix and the fat Canadian
Yeah,
or something, you know?
no, it was the starfish and the
It
phoenix. I
starts.
think it was. Some shit like this. But Kino Casino had a good ring to it. A lot of people were very skeptical of that name. Like a lot of the inner circle and stuff were like, "Oh, it's a shitty name." Da, 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 da. But I think it's really caught on. I think people really do like the name. And there's just so much we can do with the aesthetic of it, with the playing cards, the poker chips. It fits in with that felted phrase,
The
which
felted
is
phrase.
which is really caught on as a trademark
I
phrase
see
ever
it
since
everywhere,
fucking
dude. I see it. Like I was watching a random stream, it was like a random like whatever stream, and they're like, oh, he was felted, and I'm like, I've never seen this guy before ever, and it's like it was like felted, you know, and and
Yeah.
and by the way, too, like the crazy thing is, uh, so I've been getting clips from like the drunken peasants and a Nick Rekieta stream, a Mediker talked about it. It's like even like all the smaller podcasts, like the Gun to Wave and stuff. I see all these clips and Kino Casino, like after episode one, and I'm like, God damn, this fucking caught on fast. Like people loved it, like right off the bat, and it was really good. And I took the criticism of like, don't drink, Andy, because at the end I was a little bit slurry. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna drink on the shows anymore. I took it like way more serious. But then, what happened?
Oh, what happened was Ralph fucking lost his mind. He
Whoa,
was
buddy. Me, you, and Kyler are hanging out, just talking about whatever. And then you were like, Worski, you see Ralph's tweet? And I'm like, what is it? And it just says, some people, it was after our trailer for the first episode.
yeah,
Remember? It was after the first episode
yeah.
of trailer. And he's like, Friday, 9:30 Eastern or whatever, obviously on Ralph's time slot, but fuck him. He doesn't own 9:30, sorry. And then he wrote, some people aren't being loyal. And I'm like, you know what? I just wrote something like along the lines of like, don't talk to me about loyalty or something. And we
Yeah.
were off to the races. And even then I was like, nah, I don't want to do a show on Ralph. He'll be angry. I'll fight with him on Twitter for a bit, whatever. And then it was like the whole, oh, I'm going to rape your sister thing. And I'm like,
Well, he
okay.
starts firing up shows, and
Oh,
every show for
yeah.
5 fucking days was Warski fucking Sinead, beat Sinead, raped her, abortions, and I'm gonna rape his sister. I'm gonna go to Portugal. I'm
Retarded.
gonna own Warski, and it was just fucking ridiculous. It was just beyond fucking belief. And what he was doing was just promoting our show
Yeah.
all fucking week. All he was doing was just promoting our show. A lot of people, if he hadn't have brought it up on Tequila Sunrise and Killstream, wouldn't have even known that you left. Because a lot of people don't follow the Twitter shit. They don't follow Kiwi Farms. They don't follow the gossip. They just tune into the show. Sometimes they don't even tune into every show. They tune in maybe Wednesday, or they tune in Friday, or they tune in Monday, right? But he did every show, like 10 shows about Andy.
5 hours each.
So everybody in the audience learned that there's a feud now between Warski and Ralph. And a lot of people on the Killstream audience like Andy. So what ends up happening is a lot of the donators and supporters of Ralph go like, fuck you. And they started to donate to Kino Casino instead. But they were worried that Ralph would dox them, so they had to donate anonymously and not donate to Ralph. And there's probably about 30 people that were like that.
Yeah,
And
who DM'd me
immediately,
like, by the way, I was, stinky palm one. And it was like some guy, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's dope. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
holy fuck, dude. Yeah, it was like 30 people.
the,
And there's
but
still more who
but
want to hop
they
over now?
oh yeah, but they may not have if Ralph hadn't have been such a fucking psycho. Or he's like, yeah, he brought up like that Warski was molested by his babysitter. What a loser! That's why he's got a stutter. He was molested. It's like, who would think that that's cool?
Yeah,
Like to make fun of some guy
I was
getting
4. I was 4
molested
years
as a child.
old.
A 4-year-old getting abused, and then you're gonna use that as an own. Like it makes you look like such a scumbag. You know what I mean?
Actually,
And,
there
and
was 10 people who I was talking to or who messaged me was like, look, I was fine with him insulting you for a minute because I was like, whatever. Like, people make fun of each other when they're like angry. It was that line that was like, okay, I'm done with you. Sorry. Like, oh, you're molested. You know what I mean? It's like retarded. And then he's like lying, like, I spoke to his ex and he used to beat her all the time. Like, first of all, she would never talk to you. Secondly, no, I'd never beat a girl in my life. I never hit a girl once in my life.
well, that wasn't even the
But
story.
why
Like
would I even
it,
respond to that? You know what I mean? Like, why would I even respond to this? Like, Like, oh, so you can make up any lie about me, and now I have to go. Actually, guys, here I'll fire up a stream and defend
No,
myself on
so
this. Fuck
so
that.
what
Fuck
so what
that.
we knew was, the way to win is to go on the attack. So we launched the Fuck Ralph Festival,
Mm-hmm.
and we dropped the trailer, and nobody believed that we were going to get the guests. Everybody thought, "Oh, there's no way they can get
Yeah.
Flamenco. There's no way they can get Nick Rekieta. Like they burned
Augie.
the bridge with Rekieta. There's no way they can get Augie. PPP made fun of Augie for being a scarecrow in a closet a bunch of times. There's no way they can get any of these. And then suddenly, Friday comes along. Every guest is on.
Yeah, and
Everybody that was promoted was on. You
except
know,
the Medicare thing, everyone was like, "Oh, it'll be fake Jim," and it was fake Jim, but it was incredible. Fucking Kill All Pedals did an amazing. Like it was just like I didn't. I
and
don't.
it was better than if it was gonna be the real Jim.
We didn't
Like,
even
let's be
watch it though. We
honest.
didn't even watch it. Remember, because he sent it to me at like 11, like 30, because he was rendering it. Because he was like,
Yeah.
because he wanted to do it. He's like, I'll make it 3 minutes, right? And then when he realized how big he's like, okay, I'm gonna work day and night on this for the next 3 days. And he sent it to me at 11:30. So we hadn't even watched it. I'm like, all right, here it is. And I hit
It
play.
could have been,
You
who
know,
knows? It could have been anything. It could have been a meat
porn.
spin
Yeah.
penis. It could have been porn. We didn't see it, so we just threw it up, man. And it was fucking. It really worked. It was really phenomenal. Everybody loved the Fuck Ralph festival. But holy shit, I'll tell you, that was a fucking hard show to make happen
Oh,
because
dude.
for 4 days we were just fucking like booking, booking, booking. Like, let's get this person
And
on,
switching times and like
and Rekieta had the trial going on, this Edgeworth trial or whatever it was, and had to fucking like wait around. We were like, are we gonna get him? Are we gonna get him? We finally got him on. He was fucking tired as fuck. We did it. We got him on. We got everybody on. And the show really has blown up. I mean, it's done 45,000 views.
Jesse
And
PS with the diapers.
oh, Pod
Like,
Awful was
come
on.
on. That was so funny. Oh, and that was the same week. So it was on the Wednesday or Tuesday where he's like, I'm gonna go to Portugal. And I was like, there's no way. And we were like the whole time, we're like, there's no way he's heading, right? And then I was tweeting out like, I'm El Chapo, they'll never let you in, right? I'm
Yeah.
goading him into doing it. And then he fucking buys tickets. Then he goes with then Dick Masterson's announced. Then it was the day
Fakes
before he was
breaking
supposed
his ankle.
yeah, it was on the day.
Yeah.
So it was 30 minutes after we had we uploaded, you know how you could upload the
The Fuck
pre-show,
Ralph Festival. Yeah.
but it was like like
Trailer.
everyone no, it was on the Friday. We uploaded at 11:30. The like waiting now, like
Oh.
stream starts in 9 hours type thing, and then 30 minutes after uploading that, he fake breaks his foot. We do the F Ralph Festival. Then that night, after we're done, we see a tweet from him saying, maybe I should cancel. And then I did one last tweet. That's right, Ralph. They wouldn't even let you in anyway. Hashtag El Chapo Warski. I'm going. I'm going. And I'm like, he's doing it. He's doing it, Ashton. You're like, no, no. And he went. And then we think, okay, the funny thing is the
But
Burger
here's the
King.
thing too.
Yeah.
Before we even get there, let's not overskip that. The Fuck Ralph Festival just destroyed Ralph in viewership that night.
Oh, dude,
Ralph,
money and everything. Yeah.
yeah, money and everything. Ralph was forced to move his time slot from 9:30 to 7:30 because he couldn't compete head to head. He had to. He was desperate. He brought Surfer on.
Who,
It was a
who he
total.
kicked off twice? He kicked off
He
twice.
kicked off twice. Just a total humiliation, just a total embarrassment. Jesse's at his house. He can't even come outside to confront Jesse. Just totally humiliated, man. And then he's like crying about how,
The
oh,
finger
Pantsu was
guns.
traumatized. Ansu was traumatized, and then he leaves his pregnant fiance at home to go to Portugal.
Oh,
And oh,
dude, and
so funny.
that show, dude, was like unbelievable because it was like a week earlier where he's like, I'm setting up this bowling like event and it can't even set up a shopping list. And then you see like fucking Wednesday when that trailer drops, he's like, none of those guys are gonna go. None of them are gonna go on the show. That's a lie. That's a lie. And it's like we do the festival. He's like traumatized. Like like the scenes. Like there's clips of him like just like looking like miserable. And then yeah, so he flies out to Portugal, right? Doesn't do any shows for the first 3 days, and we're just like, all right, this is a victory for us. He can't do shows. He's on the wrong part of the world. That's not even where my family's from. They're from the Azores, which are the islands, 1,400 kilometers west in the middle of the ocean. So I'm making fun of him. Then the Burger King thing drops, and I was like, Ashton, look at this photo.
It's amazing. It was amazing. And we thought we're like, okay, this is the highlight of the trip. Like, we'll briefly mention this on the show. He went to Portugal to eat Burger King, to own Andy. And we figured, like every other Ralph trip, it'll be boring. There won't be any shows. Nothing will happen. He'll come
Yeah.
back home.
I bought Burger King, right, to make a picture. I was memeing on him. My Twitter exploded. You know, everyone's laughing. Yeah, everything is. And then Thursday or no, Friday rolls around, and I'm like, Ralph hasn't tweeted in 8 hours. Huh, interesting. I fall asleep, wake up. Ralph hasn't tweeted in 15 hours. Then me and you are chatting. We're like, what happened? Like, maybe he was caught with drugs. Maybe he had his ass kicked, right? And then 26 hours later, within the minute, I get like 5 DMs from people with just that picture. And I
And
just,
I
oh,
was like having a nap or something at the time. Oh, I didn't know like what was going on. I woke up and my fucking inbox was just flooded. I had like 9 DMs from you. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this picture. I'm like, this can't be real. I go I go to Ralph's Twitter. I'm like, no. I call you. You're like, dude, this is crazy. He got beat up. His purse got stolen. I just laughed
oh
and laughed. I was like, holy shit, I guess we know what our show this week is, eh?
man. And then, by the way, I went through the comments on our Fuck Ralph festival the other day, and someone just commented a prophecy and like a timestamp, and it's you going, he's gonna go to Portugal. The Portuguese are gonna beat his ass and break his orbital bone. I'm not even kidding. You like
Yeah,
said it. They're gonna break his orbital bone, and they did.
they did. They literally
Oh,
broke his orbital bone.
his
I
purse was
can't even
stolen.
believe it. Merce. His Armani Merce. It's $1,000 man purse. It's so gay. And then they're selling it on eBay. You know. So
Can't
we
write
do
this
the
shit.
show
You
about
can't write
the
this.
first hour of episode 3, which I think is the best show we've done
I
so
love it.
far.
Yeah, it's
We
really
do it
funny,
on
man.
all Yeah, we do it on this shit about Ralph, and then we brought on Daisy and we talked
Fucking
more.
best
It
interview
was
ever. Holy shit, that's
Daisy
funny.
is crazy. We talked about anime Rightus too. I think we're gonna have on this week for episode 4. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed he's coming on.
yeah.
Um, but we're like, okay, now we're done with Ralph. Like, it's over. Like he broke his orbital bone. He's gonna go blind. There's not gonna be kill streams for a couple weeks or whatever. Right? No. Ralph just can't leave well enough alone, right? Um,
Oh, you think it's over? It's done. That's it. You know. All right, game set match. We won. Holy boy, were we wrong. Like the keto nectar gods, you know, like literally, you can't
Blessed us.
you can't write this. Fucking Mr. Medicare pulls his stream out, right? And I'm telling PPP, he's not gonna talk about the Ralph stuff. He had his whole show. I'm like, he's not gonna talk about it. It's done. Whatever. I wasn't even hoping for it. Like I was like, if it happens, cool. If not, he not only brings it up, but explains the whole story in a hilarious way. It's really fucking funny. And it's not even bad. Like, it's like, how do you not laugh at this? Like, the whole situation is funny. Ralph takes this as like a death threat almost, you know? Like,
Yeah.
his reactions, like he was like threatened or something.
Well, it's crazy because like Medicare didn't go hard at all. Like he
No.
just like he reported it as it was, and it's funny. Like a guy says he's going to go to Portugal to own this other guy, and then he gets beat up there, and his man purse is stolen. Like as if Jim can't laugh at that. And all Ralph had to do was either just ignore it, pretend it didn't happen, or laugh it off, be like, "Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny. Like, I gotta take this ale." You know, you have to. Oh, instead he's like, "I'm a winner. I'm a king." No, Jim, you're a fucking loser, and you're afraid to die. You're a dying old man,
No, no,
and you're
no, no. His first thing was against Jade, his girl,
oh
his
my god,
wife. Like,
yeah,
that was the first
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
He's like, Jade, you're a fucking dirty pig. You're fat and disgusting and a Chinese pig. Like, it was crazy shit. And it's like, Ralph, like, you're the last one to fucking talk. First of all, first wife was a Southeast Asian woman. Woman very loosely, with a fucking unibrow who was a fat pig. A literal,
I
like,
like Nora.
Asian.
She's a nice. I like her. She's nice.
She is a nice lady, but like she wasn't as fetching as Ralph would have you
Well,
believe.
yeah,
Okay, I'll
I know what
I'll
you're
say it
saying.
so
I know
you
what
don't
you're
have
saying.
to
I
because
know
I'm a
it.
scumbag. And and he's got fucking an 18-year-old with fucking meth teeth. You know, fuck's sake. And
And
he's
now a
got
horse
the
face
fucking
lolliconist.
the lolicon pedophile enthusiast pantsuit. I'm sorry, like you have no ground to stand on talking about other people's wives and girlfriends, and he always takes it there, like with Quartering's wife. I'm gonna rape your wife, Quartering. I'm gonna bend her over the table.
No,
Then
dude, that was the worst. Where he's like, and he starts like fake spitting on his hand. Like, you know my moves. I'm like, ew. It's like gross. It's not even funny. There's no punchline.
but again, the moment anybody says a word about pants, then he cries out of his fucking ass. All
Yeah.
just hypocritical bullshit from him. But that was the last area that you could attack Jim on because pretty much everybody, you know, even if you don't like Asian women, you go, well, you know, she's got a pretty fucking big rack on her.
Yeah.
You know, like, you
You know, like that
know,
video with her in the schoolgirl outfit. You're like, yeah, I'd probably, toss it, right?
you know what I mean? Like, not many people are thinking that about Ralph's wives, you know, so it's just crazy. And, you know, immediately, because if you go take it to that level with Jim, he is going to fucking bury you. He's going to blow you the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, and he hasn't done any, like he hasn't even begun. You know, it just took a
oh, he
bunch of
hasn't even
tweets.
started.
Yeah.
He's just sent out a few tweets. I mean, if Jim, you know, wills up the energy to do a video or a full stream on Ralph, like Ralph will never recover.
No.
He will be absolutely fucking devastated. He's gonna be like mundane Matt levels of fucking destroyed.
Even
And
now,
you
that's
know,
happening though.
yeah, even now, because what he then writes an article about Jim saying Jim's afraid to go outside. Jim's dying of cancer and he's scared. And then he said that Jim's responsible for COVID. Just completely delusional. Jim had any impact whatsoever on the world leaders' decisions to do the
Yeah, I'm
vaccine.
sure it was all Jim who did that. Well, and by the way, it's called Fear, right? About Jim's fear of death or whatever and going outside. Never mentions his name one time.
No, because Ralph's afraid to name him because he knows most of Ralph's audience are there because of Jim. And so when this finally all breaks down, and with Jim, a lot of people are going to stop watching. They are there because they like Jim and they came to watch Ralph because of Jim. And if Jim says Ralph's not cool anymore, they're fucking going to be gone. And that's what happened with the most loyal man, Gator. Ralph's loyal manservant to the bitter end. Gator, who cleaned it up for him at every fucking turn and, excused every evil thing that Ralph ever did. I mean, honestly, like, Gator won the Golden Gun for loyalty 3 years in a row. We're thinking of renaming it the Gator Award for Loyalty. It was the V Award for Loyalty. It's going to be renamed. I don't think we can call it the Gator Award for Loyalty anymore.
No,
though.
no.
Because Gator finally was like,
Yesterday,
Yesterday, you can't attack Daddy Jim. That's where he drew the
No,
line.
no. This happened before. So before the Fuck Ralph festival, this is what I heard now, right? This is like the
Yeah.
So apparently this actually happened before, and Gator was done with the show. So it must have been like the Thursday or the Wednesday, and Ralph had said something to Gator. I can't remember what. Like I would have to read DMs and all that stuff. He mentioned this on Flam stream yesterday, like mildly. So I'm allowed to say this, right? It's not like private or anything. He said this out loud, but it was like the Thursday or the Wednesday where Gator was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna do my own thing now," and blah 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 blah, blah, right? Because he was like, "Look, you burned the bridge with everyone. Now Andy, you're starting a war with Andy. All this stuff." He just saw the writing on the wall finally, and so, but the whole thing was, he's like, "I won't." I know why. I know why. It was the fucking Mamenko fucking shaking the pills on the Anime Boomer podcast. That was when Ralph's like, "So you backstabbed me?" He's like, "Look, dude, I just laughed at the joke. Like, relax. No, you're off the show. I don't want you to be on the show." He's like, "Okay, well, I'll do my own thing. Let's not start beef or drama or anything. Let's just move our separate ways." But then Ralph's stream yesterday, his fucking pilled up, boring ass stream, he said the line, and some people weren't uploading on a proper schedule. So I lost some dead weight, referring to Gator. Of course, not naming him because he's a pussy. And then what happens? Gator hops onto Flams and boom, all hell fucking starts. Eruption. We find out Gator was paid $150 a month. He uploaded everything on Killstream TV. He uploaded all the fucking Libsyn.
He ran the OBS. He fucking did all the tech support shit. I mean, Gator was the fucking backbone of the show.
Yes, he was. $150 a month.
And every time Ralph had a scandal, it was Gator there with the broom in hand on Twitter, clean it up, to run damage control, to spin a narrative for Ralph. I mean, when you think about the hundreds of hours that Gator spent on Twitter arguing with people, I mean, he was paid literally like pennies an hour. I mean, he wasn't even paid pennies an hour. He was basically doing it for free.
Yeah.
And it's just sad, to be honest. Like, you feel bad for the fucking guy. But, I know you have a relationship with Gator, but I'll just speak for myself on this. It's just not worth it, bro.
No.
It makes it, if I was him, I wouldn't have even said that. I would never have revealed that because, it almost would have been better if he did it for nothing and that he did it for
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's just so pathetic that, he was this guy's fucking manservant for $150 a month.
I heard it was $500 bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks, because Ralph told me that. And I was like, 1,000 a month? Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable, to upload some videos and sort of like just sit in the background. Yeah, it sounds about right. Not a lot of money, but whatever. And then I find out it's 100. And that's what pissed me off and why I hopped onto Ralph's stream where he's like, I'm saving. Oh, sorry, not Ralph's stream, on Flam's stream about Ralph, where he goes, now that I have all these co-hosts gone, I save on salary. Save on salary. Like
What do
insulting us
you
all.
mean?
Insulting us all like salary. This motherfucker didn't pay anyone anything. He just spends his money on drugs and hookers, right? And like frivolous trips and the worst like money management I've ever seen ever, including myself, who was a cokehead for a year. You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck,
Do you
bro.
know the reason why you take care of these people? So that shit doesn't come out about you afterwards. If Gator had really got paid the $33,000 that he was promised, I guarantee you Gator wouldn't be out there talking shit about Ralph today.
No.
But he is because he didn't get fucking paid jack shit. He got treated like a slave and a fucking whipping boy and an animal. And on the way out the door, Ralph doesn't even be. You know what? Gator gave a lot of service to the show. Gator was here for some of the most amazing moments in Killstream history. I really appreciate you, Gator. Even though you won't be here anymore, like, I understand. It's like, no, you were a fucking janitor, glorified janitor.
Yeah.
You had nothing to do with my success. You were a fucking loser, and I hated you from day one. It's like, then why was he on the show, Ralph?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. And
it's just pathetic.
and then he goes, "Oh, I'm better than everyone watches Killstream for me." Well, no, because every co-host who left, one by one, your views went lower and lower and lower. And to anyone who's like, well, he's gets 1,000 on Odyssey, it's all bots. Match any stream chat ever to his Odyssey chat. It's fucking day and night. There's like maybe 100 watching, maybe if that. And maybe like the
Oh, I don't.
replays 1,000 or something for the replays. Maybe. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. To be honest with you, who watches that
Oh,
show?
no, nobody's watching this shit. Like, the day Zidane left is the day the show fucking went into its death spiral. But now even Gator's gone, dude. Like, I honestly never thought Gator would leave
Me either.
because I don't know what else Gator is gonna do. Maybe Flamenco will bring him on as the co-host or something like that.
Yes, it's
I
Anime
don't
Boomer
fucking know.
podcast, right? And he'll. Well, here's the thing: is I think ever since like I started separating, and disassociating with Ralph, everything just starts to fall into place. You have way more options with people you can talk to. Like no one is like this except for Ralph. No one. I can't think of a single person who's like, hey, what, you're hanging out with this guy? That's gay. Like the whole taking sides thing, like Porcelain's had it the best. Like he goes, the internet's supposed to be fun. Like taking sides is retarded. Because if he's like, Andy, if you fuck up and I make a joke about you and you're like, fuck you, and you burn the bridge with me, like you're the retard. And I would be. Like, you have to be able to take your lumps, you know? When someone goes, aim, 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 do you think I go like, oh boy, well. No, I go, yeah, like it was, yeah. Almost shot someone on the stream. It's fucked up, I know. Like, what do you do? What am I gonna
Well,
do?
what can
Cry
you
about it?
do? It's Ralph just constantly takes these L's. So now it's like, okay, Medicare has turned on you, the guy who is single-handedly responsible for the success of your show, and it taking off. He was the one that did the Boulder stream. Him and Zidane, they're both gone now. Medicare's actively campaigning against you, and now your most loyal man, guy who's been with you from the beginning, your right-hand man, the guy who runs the tech side, he's fucking gone.
He hates
He's
you.
saying you're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
And what does Ralph do? He's like, I'm winning. I'm winning. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, Ralph, like your eyes are fucking swollen shut. You look like fucking Deadpool after the surgeries, bro. You're fucking felted. Your fucking
Delusional.
jaw is wired shut. You've lost everything. What are
no
you fucking
friends,
talking about?
no
You have no
pals, no one likes
friends.
you. Like,
You have no clout left. You haven't been able to do a show in a fucking week. The show you're doing, you sound like Chief Donga, where you're fucking high on pills, drinking fucking wine, low energy as fuck. You have to whisper because you're afraid of the hotel staff kicking you out into the streets, where the Portuguese rape gang will finish you off. And you're sitting here trying to pretend like you're winning and that everything's good. Fuck, even your football team didn't make it to the Super Bowl. They got fucking defeated by the Bengals, dude. You're sitting there having to take that L. Somehow you're like, well, the Rams are gonna win. It's like, dude, just fucking take the L's. Like, holy shit. It's just unending with. But somehow he's like, no, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa,
do you
whoa,
think
whoa.
he believes that though? Like, do you really think like is is this like a mask? Is it like a persona like that he's putting on? Because he's got to be
Well,
like
it
like you
is.
got
Like,
to be
as
fucking
he's doing,
delusional.
yeah. Oh, it's all bullshit. Like, he's just lying to himself and lying to everybody else. 'Cause even when he's like trying to laugh at like Gator and Jim last night, every time he laughed, he was on the verge of crying because of the pain he's feeling. Like the physical pain, from getting fucked up by the Portuguese, and then the mental anguish of having like his internet daddy Jim shit all over him and his most loyal friend fucking leave. It's fucked.
And then
I don't
he
know
has
how.
the balls to say everyone on the FRL festival, all the co-hosts, everyone has no talent and he's the only talented one. That is objectively wrong. Literally, look, like you don't have to like
All
me
you
because I'm a
have to
stuttering
do is
retard or Jim, you don't think he's funny or anyone. You can make fun of anyone for any reason, but you could go, well, yeah, I hate Warski, but he got 1,800 viewers on his fucking show with PPP, like and then made like thousands of dollars. Jim, oh, you could say, oh, I don't think he's funny, but he has 10,000 people watching. Like, objectively, there is talent in all of us because we
well,
have people
there's
who
there's
watch
some
us.
reason that there's some reason people are watching. There's
Yeah,
some reason people
exactly.
are getting invested, getting excited to see them. And I wouldn't even say that Ralph has no talent.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
he does have some talent. It's just that he fucking acts like a complete asshole and alienates every single person around him, and he just does scummy, evil things all the time. And what talent he does have, he's destroying with alcohol and pills. And what little he has left is going to be taken away from him little by little as he gets on oxys. He's going to be hooked on oxys probably for the rest of his life now. So all of the shows are going to be low energy as fuck. He's going to be in chronic pain, in his face and probably in his body from this fucking beating he took. He's going to have like PTSD from this fucking beating.
He has
And,
no guests anymore. Like, there's only like his Rolodex is thinning out, and also the people who don't have beef with him are gonna see what's happening right now and go, yeah, I don't want to hop onto this show. Like, he burnt the bridge with a Chrissy Mayer and like all those guys from the Anthony Cumia network or whatever, like the Compound Media. He burned every bridge. Like, everyone hates him. You have nothing.
I mean, and look at his child is coming April 27th. And I honestly, my prediction is before that child is born, he's gonna break up with Pantsu. Either she's gonna leave because of all the fucked up shit he's doing, or he's gonna kick her out because he doesn't want to deal with the child. And if that doesn't happen by then, it won't be very long, but till summertime, I think, where he'll kick her out because he doesn't want to deal with the child crying, shit like that. At that point, then Aunt Sue is gonna fucking drop all the dirt on Ralph that she has, and then guess who's gonna be covering it? All the people he just alienated this month. You'll see a Mr. Medicare stream. You'll see a fucking Augie stream.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a porcelain documentary. You'll see all this shit come out on him. And how's he gonna handle it? At that point, then, when Pantsu leaves, that will be the final fucking harvesting where he's gonna be fully fucking like jarboed out on the fucking corner.
and
I don't know how he'll
he's
have any
spending his
fans left.
money. Yeah, he's spending money. He's not gonna have any fans to support him. Odyssey's gonna stop like this contract deal apparently they have with him. Uh, I even hear from like murmurings that the Odyssey CEO was asking him to stop starting beefs with everyone because it's bad for business. You know, like you're saying you're gonna fuck a quartering's wife and like rape her basically on a platform where like he's on as well. You know, you can't have your top dog threatening to fuck people's wives and saying these horrible things without the owner being like, maybe this being our mascot is a bad idea. And by the way, I don't know if you heard about this today. It was deleted rather quickly. I'm trying to find a screenshot somewhere. I got a few DMs about this, but no one, like, it was quick. It was like a minute. But Odyssey had tweeted out. So Ralph tweeted out like a picture of him holding a gun, wearing like the fedora and glasses, and it said like it's time or whatever, and it was like to like bash fucking Medicare or whatever, right? Which that ended up failing, but it was that same image Odyssey tweeted, but with Ralph's broken face
Oh,
as a cartoon though
oh,
on that picture, and then it was deleted within a minute. Even
yeah.
Odyssey from their official account. Now this might
Holy
be
shit.
like a troll. I
Uh,
was trolled or something, but I got 3 DMs and it's from 3 people who I don't know if they're friends or something, and they're trying to like troll me. But I hear this. I asked, so don't. I'm not saying it's 100% true. It might be wrong, but I did see some of these images floating around, which might have been that tweet, but no one got the actual tweet. So I might be wrong, but for sure, they're not happy with this. Would you be happy if you're running a business like this? What if I on Kino Casino burnt every bridge with any possible gas? You'd be like, Andy, what are you doing? Fucking knock it off, dude.
yeah. Oh well, I'll tell you this. So breaking news, Ralph
Mm.
has tweeted out that he is going to be back home in Virginia Friday night to defeat the Kino Casino. He is flying after having his orbital bone ruptured. He literally could die on that flight in order to try and defeat the Kino Casino on Friday with a
Wait,
live stream.
is that what he said?
Yeah, he's tweeted this out just now.
Wait,
He's going to be he's flying home Friday night to do a show.
oh, okay, he didn't say our name in particular. It's just like
No,
hint,
no.
hint, wink, wink. I'm gonna do a show on Friday. Well, this is very, first of all, very dangerous to do. My mom knows someone who actually became blind because he went on a plane too early. Because you know, like the air pockets basically inside. What happens is there's air pockets, and when you add that pressure there, it could blow your fucking eye out. Right? You could die, or you could be blind. So, and then what are you gonna do on Friday? What are you gonna do on Friday? Like, it's gonna be like watching Tucker clips. Like, there's no show. There's no show for you anymore. That's the thing.
No,
Is
there is no show. Like this is we were watching it. Some of his shows. I was watching them with Godwinson when he was like shitting on you, and he's like, "Where's the show? Like where is Gator? Where where is the actual show? PvP? Like Ralph used to have a show. This is just him like ranting into a camera.
that's all it is
Like
now.
yeah, this is what it's like, Godwinson. He's like, fuck, like I better go on vacation again. Like like it's just boring as fuck.
And by the way, like you could say whatever, you could make up all these lies or whatever, all this stuff, right? Oh, Andy's a rapist. He was like, oh, Andy's a rapist, blah, blah, blah. I got 50 followers after he said that on Twitter. No one cares about, first of all, your exaggerations, your lies, your bringing up Andy did coke. Like, wow, you know what I mean? Like all this fucking bullshit. No one cares about this stuff. Like I was telling you a few weeks ago, you could say anything about anyone. If they're funny, right? Like you'll watch them. You know what I mean? No one has a clean history, especially Ralph. So when Ralph goes, Andy had an abortion, well, you begged fucking Faith for an abortion. You know, you could say Andy ordered his girlfriend to have an abortion, which is not true. But I'm not going to even talk about that because I don't care. You could think whatever you fucking want, but you do the same fucking shit. You haven't even held your son in like in your arms, dude. You raised $635 of a $10,000 fucking whatever, a GoFundMe or whatever it's called, the Christ
Give,
one.
send, go.
Yeah, and then you use it to buy a ticket to Portugal to fly to own me, and then and on Friday it's gonna be like Jim's this, Andy's that, Flam's this, Augie's this.
No, do you know what? It's sad. He's not. He doesn't even have it in him to do that. You know, even his big show last night, where he's gonna shit on you and shit on Jim, he hypes it up as the Extermination Festival or whatever it was called. It was low energy. There was no teeth to any of his insults. His heart wasn't even in it. He was a beaten man. He was a beaten, broken, battered man. And
Yeah, because
I'm gonna guess his Friday show, Andy. It's not even gonna be an attack on Jim or you. He's just gonna put his tail between his legs. Hey guys, here's the Tucker clip.
yeah, here's
Oh,
the
did you?
honk in Canada, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Did
the
you see Joe
honking.
Biden? Joe
Yeah.
Biden, and it's gonna just be trash.
And then he's gonna have
Because
our
like
show on a second tab. He's gonna see our views are gonna be like hitting 1,000, and support. We're gonna talk about him only for like an hour and then move on. We have like an interview with the animated rightist. We got some new Nick stuff that's
new
fucking
Nick Long,
hilarious.
yeah.
While we're setting up for our next Joker, because we can't do a Joker every single week. It's very difficult to do that. But you know, we're gonna have an awesome show, and you know what, dude? And I was telling you this, and I'm sure the audience will appreciate this. Like, we really didn't want to talk about Ralph more than the F Ralph festival. People were like, "You blew your load," and I'm like, "That's the whole point of the fuck Ralph festival. It's like we're blowing our load. Like this is it. This is like it was the
The
funeral."
one, it's like the one and only. Like this is what Ralph is. Like let's destroy him. Let's bring everybody on to just take a dump on him, put him in the ground, cover him with dirt, and let's move on. But the guy is so fucking insane that it's impossible to move on.
It is.
Because every week it's like some new fucking shit. So we're trying, like we keep promising. Okay, next week there's no talk about Ralph. It's the same thing this week. Like we'll conclude the segment. This is the last thing we're talking about Ralph. And then it will be the next day that his fucking eye is blown out of his socket and he's fucking blind.
And then we're
He's
like,
gonna
"God
do the
damn
kill
it!"
stream without eyes or something. And then we'll like be watching the kill stream where he's blind. We'll be like, well, we better do a show. His fucking eyes blew out of his socket.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Well, that's the thing is if he's just insulting Jim or me or whatever, if he does that, like that's not even worth responding to on our next show. It's like, all right, well, it's done now. It has to be something fun and crazy because there's enough podcasts out there that shit on Ralph and videos and Kiwi Farms.
oh yeah.
So it's like there's so much stuff that we want to talk about, and frankly, like if we were to respond to Ralph every time he said something, that's what our whole show would be about. And we're really trying to make it not about only Ralph. Like, believe it or not. In fact, this was like,
But
okay.
it's hard. Guys.
Well, we're like, okay, the second time, okay, we have to talk. All right, we'll talk about the Burger King thing and then move on. Then the fucking face beating. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, that's it. Now we have to talk about the fucking Jim versus thing. We have Gator on as a guest and stuff. Okay, we'll talk about this. And then that's it. Until he like does a doxing spree and heads to Jim's house or something, And then it's like, well, we have to talk about this.
It's the IBS finale. He's gonna show up in Jim's yard with a gun, and it's gonna be fucked. I'll go home in a casket, I guess.
Because I really feel like this is concluding soon, but I've said that 3 times in the last 2 weeks. Like I've said that, like, all right, that's it. We were like the Burger King thing. We're like, that's the highlight. The burger. Whoa, we're always wrong. And by the way, it's become past just shitting on Andy now because he's burnt like 3 bridges or 4 bridges since me.
Oh no, he's not even talking about you now. It's all about Jim and Gator, right? It's like It's on to the next one, I guess. Who's fucking next? Who's left? It's gonna be Dick Masterson next week, probably, right? How dare you fake breaking your foot to not go to Portugal, Dick? You're a fucking piece of shit. You know, if he burns the bridge with Dick, I mean, that's the last thing he
But
does. Like,
here's my theory. So Dick has done enough things that Ralph is seething about Dick privately. Like he seethed about me after heading to your house, seethed about Nick Ricada for you being on his show, seethed about Gator for having Jim on, etc., right? So he's obviously seething about Dick, but in his mind, right? He goes, Dick makes $20,000 a month on Patreon, so maybe I'll get that money. I don't know what that what's that mentality? Like I'll still be his friend because he's rich in your mind. You know what I mean? I guess. So I think Dick would have to do something very blatant, like which I thought it was blatant, but I think in his mind, oh, the Dick show is like this big fucking show, so therefore I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say my true feelings about Dick Masterson. But do you actually think he'll go after Dick?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, I thought he wouldn't with Jim, but boy, was I wrong. But Dick still
well,
hangs out with
imagine,
him, though.
imagine taking the Dick Masterson bridge over the Jim bridge. You're just like, I'm burning the Jim bridge. I'm gonna stick with Dick.
Well, I think
like
the reason he was fine with burning Jim's bridge is because Jim has made it very clear he'll never head on that show again. He's made it very clear that every time he's on the show, he's going to shake a bunch of pills and go, Mamenko, I can't hear you, Mamenko, right? So in Ralph's mind, okay, a Medicare will no longer be on my show ever again. This is it. That's the finale, right? So let's just burn it. And in his fucking pea brain, he thinks, oh, I can get people invested in this drama and get money out of it. What he doesn't realize is like most of your people like Medicare. Most people like Medicare on the internet. You know what I mean?
well, at least our side of the internet.
Yeah.
So it's just fucking foolish as fuck. But the Kino Casino, it's doing fucking really well.
I'm
The
happy.
support has been massive. It's beyond our wildest expectations of what the show would be at this point. Subscribership has been up nearly 2,000 subscribers on the Daka channel since we started the show.
2 weeks, yeah.
We've got the Gumroad that you're listening to this on now. Lots of content still to come on the Gumroad. We're gonna start to put up stuff. At least I am, and Andy is. Nearly every day there'll be something new up here, whether it be something from the archives or a rant or a review or a little podcast like this. But I think this pretty much we've said what we've needed to say on this, eh?
Yeah, we were planning only 45 minutes. It's been an hour and 30 minutes and 37 minutes. So, we like me and you just talk. Like we could talk, dude. That's the thing is I was telling Ashton this. I think you said this actually. We could like record our actual Discord calls and put them up because they're like this. This is how we talk,
They're
basically.
like shows. Yeah, I mean this is like basically what we've just done on this podcast here is just reiterated the call that we had for probably an hour and a half before we went on the air. It's basically the same fucking call over again. But, you guys are getting to hear it, so we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely, guys, and thank you for subscribing to the Gumroad again. Very early, guys. We really appreciate it. And we're going to be putting up stuff and promoting it constantly. We hope it to grow even more. Seriously, guys, it really supports what we're doing here, and we could do it. I foresee this show lasting a very long time. Ultimately, it will have an end, I think. but there's so much energy and stuff we want to do and create that I don't foresee it like ending anytime soon. I really foresee this like lasting for a while, so I'm really happy. And dude, our show is like so high production. Like I rewatched our third episode, and I was like, and I hate watching myself. You know, I stutter and this and that, and but you're like our chemistry, especially on the interview too, was just so perfect. I'm like, this is like you can't even write this stuff. Like, holy shit.
Well, part of it too is those first two episodes we were trying so hard, wanted it to be so successful. The third episode we finally kind of relaxed,
Yeah,
and it flowed right. So
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
the key is just to kind of have fun with it, and just enjoy ourselves on the shows, and it'll come together. For
Exactly.
that one.
Well, guys, thanks for listening to this show. I guess it's the back room. I don't even think it's the back room. It's just there's no name for it yet. We'll figure it out. And we'll do some video stuff too, podcasts as well. We just thought what we were talking about right now, it's more of like an audio thing, right? You know, in the background, you can listen to it when you're doing some stuff. And yeah, guys, we'll see you all on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.